Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at Jack Daniel's 12-year-old, Batch 1. Got a couple samples sent to us, 53.5% ABV. Ooh, we'll do a big one here at the end, Dustin.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll order some food and sit with this for who knows how long.
In reverence for a bourbon review, went sleeveless.
As always, Mike likes to pretend like bourbon's hillbilly whiskey.
I'm hillbilly. This is Ohio.
So, Mike, this is kind of one of their new releases. This is their 12-year-old, which, unlike their 10-year-old, they actually put it at a pretty decent ABV at 53.5. Mm-hmm. And we've had this. I don't know if we've had the Batch 1 or the Batch 2, but we've had this before. Your buddy Adam brought over a bottle of this. Mm-hmm. Was a crowd pleaser, to say the least. So I'm super excited to get to review this one because this is not something I've been able to even, try to get.
Yeah, you know, Dustin, usually I'm two ways about Jack Daniels. I hate it, or it's a single barrel.
Barrel proof.
Right, barrel proof, excuse me. All right, so big ABV. Initially, man, I am just getting burnt wood chips, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, man, this is beautiful.
A little bit of gasoline.
You definitely pick up a little bit more, depth here than some of the... the barrel proofs, they're punchier than this, and it's hard to get past that just intense oak. The oak's a little bit brought down, a little softer. Still intense, don't get me wrong.
It's intense. It is more approachable of the two, and I agree. It initially is coming off as more. There's a lot more going on.
Now, I could actually get on board with a little bit of peanut note here.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm right back to the peanut thing.
I usually don't get peanuts on Jack Daniels, but this one I am actually getting a little bit of peanut. The extra age... Maybe proofing it down to 53.5 helped.
Yeah, peanut, Dr. Pepper peanut, and everything that goes along with that phrase. And this feels like a heavily charged. I know Jack Daniels pours everything over those cedar chips or whatever.
The Lincoln County method, yeah, it's like the maple chip thing.
Correct.
Whatever,
yeah. I assume they do that with this. I assume they do.
Oh, I'm sure it's Lincoln County for sure.
But can't tell if that over the top charred sweetness, and that's specifically its charred sweetness, if that is part of that, or if that is just 12 years in a barrel.
I think it's both, but what I am getting here that I usually don't, now it takes a little effort here. You have to dig in because it is so rich. Lazy? No. I'm just talking to the viewer. You have to dig in here for a bit, but I am getting a lot of leather, oak, and wood chair kind of notes, a little bit of antique notes with age. But let me tell you guys, they're hidden under that punch of Jack Daniel's sweetness and that char note.
Okay, I can get to leather, but the leather chair is in a basement, and that basement's flooded, and it's flooded with Dr. Pepper. It's leather saturated in Dr. Pepper.
I was going to say I get some attic notes here, but it's Dr. Pepper is just dominating this thing.
I'm at Five Guys Hamburgers. There's peanuts. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, waiting for my hamburger.
The vanilla notes on here too are really intense.
I just picked up the vanilla notes on this, and you're right, they're incredibly intense.
This is old whiskey vanilla. When you get those 20-year-old whiskeys that really they lasted, they didn't get over oaked, and they made it, they had this vanilla, and it's picked it up in 12 years. No, I guess Tennessee's a warmer climate than Kentucky by a little bit, so that could be part of maybe these age faster. But oh man, it's not quite like a George T. Stagg or something where you're just it's nose candy. But this is pretty good.
Yeah, the vanilla is clean. There's something that's slightly off-putting about it. Something slightly Jack Daniels. Vanilla is for sure one of the 23 flavors of Jack Daniels, but there's something else in there that's just influencing it to a funky degree.
That char funk here, kind of like we had in Coy Hill. It really is an unpleasant, it's an unpleasant note in the Jack world. If that's your thing and you like that particular note, great. It's the one thing that keeps this whiskey from being, exceptional on the nose for me. It keeps coming back, so it's not a...
This is still an
can't get past it.
An 89.90 on the nose.
Oh, this is excellent. This is kind of, a lot of people have been saying this is a BTAC fighter. I'll tell you this much. We'll get into the palate, we'll get into the taste, but... I don't know if it's going to go there, but let's talk about if this is like a pappy fighter.
Dustin, am I picking up caramel here at the end?
Oh, definitely.
The caramel, it's almost like caramel on a red and white striped candy cane.
I was going to say it's like red caramel. I don't know what that means, but it's red caramel. What if you smoked a caramel apple?
Okay.
Again, that char note keeps coming through, but that's...
Agreed. The char note is always ever present.
Yeah. Nice whiskey, though. I mean, just beautiful. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in, Mike, and sip this.
Certainly, Dustin. 12 years is always a good age statement. I doubt they do any heat sinking or anything on these particular ones. But I will say this.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they rotate this or forgot to rotate it. It feels like it was high and humid in the rickhouse. There is just something
Tennessee, man.
Smoldering dense here.
Oh, my God.
And I'm picking up a little bit of corn note. Okay, go ahead.
So this is what you're hoping for when you hear 12-year-old Jack Daniels. It's refined. And it's still got a punch, in good proof. It has a little bit of that assertiveness from the oak that we're just talking about. But now that rich old leather, rich vanilla, slight bit of apple coming out with that Dr. Pepper. Oh, and it's like a candied apple for sure. Caramel notes drizzled on here. This has richness and age, and I'm just going to say it right here, Mike. This is better than a Pappy Van Winkle. This is probably not George T. Stagg. It's not WLW. It's not King Kentucky, but this is upper tier bourbon.
Man, this is vanilla and flaming Dr. Pepper. Super high char. Love the vanilla note on this. The sizzling Dr. Pepper note is a slightly different take, but I like it on this particular one. Age is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Oak note that's vanilla oak. Well done. At the end, man, just this beautiful, like red strawberry along with that vanilla oak note. This is so well done.
Strawberry of apple. I got to think about that one. But man,
oh, you did say apple, didn't you? You know what? I might be wrong.
I can go either, man. I
might be wrong with strawberry
because it's a red forward sweetness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still tasting the leather notes on here.
I keep missing the leather, and every time you say it, I'm like, I missed it. But you're right, man. There was nothing off
because the sweetness level here is so intense. You can miss that like nice leathered finish.
It's just subtle. It's subtle compared to everything else.
It's not subtle in normal bourbon, but it's subtle in this because Jack Daniels always goes for like an intense flavor when they do these exceptional whiskeys. And
dude, that's soda pop. That's soda. I said flaming Dr. Pepper. You know, like I'm not a huge soda drinker, but I'll have one once a week or something.
Yeah.
Take a big whiskey, big like Coke, Dr. Pepper, not root beer, not Pepsi, but like the aggressive sodas, Coke, Dr. Pepper. Like you take a little bit too much of that will just get right in your sinuses. Like that kind of got right in your sinuses.
All right, I've added water here. The nose really hasn't changed, Mike.
Well, I was thinking about going a second time neat, but I'm gonna add water.
I went very subtle. I might put a little more just because we got big enough, pours here to go do a double take.
Someone sent us this?
Yeah, I'll
ask him if he wants to be recognized.
No
one likes to be thanked. No one.
I will. I'll make a note of that later. But yeah, we've actually had a couple samples from him. We got a couple more to do.
Jack Daniels. I will say this again. Jack Daniels was a brand I couldn't stand most of my life.
Yeah,
until I had a single barrel. I appreciate it so much more now.
Yeah, I'll apologize to our sender. We've had a few to drink today, and my use of names is a little light right now.
Is that your way of saying you forgot?
I am terrible with names, Mike. I will just tell anybody that. I'm the worst.
That's also referred to as yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Terrible.
Or it's bad about remembering in the first place.
Wow. That is up there with some of the best single barrels I've ever had. Even that gold label, like distillery manager pick. That was probably a little bit better than this, but this is right there.
I disagree. This is
better
for me. This is sublime. This is everything I want from Jack Daniels.
This is arguably the best Jack Daniels I've ever had.
The age really just it just takes it another level. I will say the water actually, much like Coy Hill didn't need water, this didn't need it either. Jack is apparently a water-free whiskey, but still didn't hurt it. Didn't kill any of the beauty here. This is just excellent bourbon. I've had people saying it's BTAC killer. No, this is not a BTAC level whiskey, but it is at the levels of like the Van Winkles, especially like the 20. It's not quite as rich and vanilla and exceptional in the nose, but it makes up for it all in the palate, where it's richer, more viscous, more just punchy and full.
Initially, with water on the palate,
Excellent.
I wasn't as big of a fan. It knocked down a ton of the notes. It's not flaming Dr. Pepper anymore. And it kind of melded them together, very much like our Big 19. Melded all those flavors together pretty well. But I tell you what, it did let me appreciate on the finish a very rich, deep vanilla oak note that I said before, but it got covered up on the palate before.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful note. And again, for oak like that to happen on bourbons, it's got to be over bourbons.
Yeah.
I mean, like scotches, like it's got to be substantially aged.
This has traditionally with bourbon, this would need 15 years. So a little bit warmer climate, I guess, in Tennessee, whatever they're doing. This is
Make more sense further south.
Yeah, so this is definitely coming off like a 15-year-old bourbon that wasn't over oaked. It has a nice oak. It could be a little oaky for some people, but I think for the majority of whiskey drinkers who are really into older bourbons, this is just dead on what you were hoping for. This is absolutely what Jack Daniel's should be doing. And thank God Jack is finally putting out age-stated whiskey. They've got a 10, they got a 12 now.
You know, we were commenting on some other whiskey reviews, some Scotch distilleries, such as Ardbeg, such as Colin L, like, you know, their best bottles are specialty bottlings and like independent releases. I mean, Jack Daniel's was an even more drastic version of that. Like everything they made, the old Number 7 Gentleman's Jack, like I took no pleasure in drinking at all.
Terrible whiskey.
In my opinion. I'm not saying if someone likes it, I mean, that's their thing. That's their thing. For me, I didn't like it whatsoever. I remember when when I finally tried a Jack Daniel's single barrel, I had been told about that whiskey by a half a dozen people. And it was just like, you know, our big special release was like, okay. When you figure it out, you know, come back to me. But you know what? They were dead right. And again, I have told many people who are looking for bourbons, you know, in this year of 2024 and also in 2023, what's a really good bourbon for a guy who likes bourbon that I can find on the shelves in Ohio? And I always say the same thing: Jack Daniel's single barrel.
Yeah,
that's your most likely barrel to find, or bottle to find,
premium.
That is an excellent whiskey, and far better than a lot of the ones you can find. Like I take that over Blanton's or I mean, you know, E.H. Taylor or the Barrel Proof or, you know, I mean, any of them.
Elmer T. Lee.
Any of them.
Come on.
Dude, we've done comparisons of, like, good bourbons, like Stag Juniors that you picked the Jack Daniels and I picked it second. I mean, they're excellent whiskeys.
Yeah, it punches right there. And this in a, you know, side-by-side blind against some of the big boys, this is winning hearts and minds across the country. I guarantee it if you get to try it.
I feel like the guys at Jack Daniels were like, who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. Well, you know, Jack, like 20 years ago, used to do some of these special fancy decanter bottles that I heard were better. And I remember, like, when I very first started buying stuff, I remember occasionally seeing, like, a $300 Jack. And then it just disappeared. There were no premiums except, like, the Sinatra for years.
I don't want to go either.
It's okay.
Anyway, doesn't whiskey score time. Have you had this yet?
We both had it with Adam. That's the only time.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It's our second time with it. So let me go first as far as the whiskey score. I'm between two numbers. I'm gonna go with a lower number because it's a bourbon. It's my last drink of the night. I'm calling 89. I could easily go 90. Mm-hmm. This is an excellent whiskey. It noses at 91.
Right there with you on the 89. I tell you what, right now the nose is getting even better and more vanilla. Mm-hmm. It's actually now, I just nosed it. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to go think 90 now because the nose just went up to
definitely getting worse.
Like, it's getting better. But yeah, I mean, I wish that little char note that we kind of talked about that's on the nose and on the palate was a little softer, a little less, you know, overt. But other than that, everything on here is literally next level, top tier bourbon, and they do it at a great proof. Because, you know, like the Rhetorics and stuff we've had on here are great whiskeys, but it's like 45-something%.
So it's
and it just comes in like, it's like, oh, all these wonderful flavors, but it's too thin.
All these wonderful flavors that we're not going to give you enough of.
Yeah, this is just killing it.
It's like a medium milkshake.
Yeah. Cheers to Jack Daniel's. You guys crushed this.
Who makes a medium milkshake? Who orders that?
Yeah, I've heard the 10 is a little disappointing because it comes in a little lower proof, and that's sad because this is perfect, guys. You need to... And I've heard there's a 14-year coming, by the way, Mike.
Proof is the thief of whiskey joy.
Yeah. You know, guys,
low proof.
I know how to fix my whiskey. I got Fiji water right here. I don't need your water.
Look, it's just a matter of numbers. Like, however much you want to put in it, don't put the water in it, whatever that needs to sell for. If it's double or extra 40% or whatever, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm professional.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is I don't know what the price on this is, Mike, but I guarantee you, it's less than I'd pay for it if I could get it.
Oh, so I bet it's reasonable.
Yeah, maybe it's $100. I think.
Oh, I mean, 89 for a bourbon is $100 is a ridiculous buy.
Yeah, this competes with those Lucky Sevens. Maybe not the best, but this competes with like a Lucky Seven.
Can you imagine secondary old antiquing a $150 bottle when you can get this for $110? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You deserve to be buying.
People buying Weller or this, like,
an
come
old
on.
you need to find the old antique 107, 150. That's what you deserve to drink. Anyway,
This is exceptional.
those are our thoughts on the whiskey. We were both super impressed with this particular one.
That said, this does have a secondary that's pretty high, so
Should.
yeah,
It's good whiskey.
It's excellent whiskey.
Cast strength. We're lucky we're living in a time where Jack Daniels is thought of as, because in 5-10 years it might not be that way.
No, Jack's going to become one of those I think people are going to be waiting in line for, just like the BTACs from Buffalo Trace. They're putting out that quality of whiskey.
It's the next one.
And they're big enough to put out enough quality stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can get a piece of the market. Mm-hmm. All right, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this 12-year-old, was it 12-year-old?
Jack Daniels.
12-year-old Jack Daniels, batch one. Batch 150.
It's the first release. It's the annual release. They're putting out every year. So if you can't,
Great idea.
If you can't get it this year, can't get it next year, just keep putting into those lotteries, guys.
That's the beginning of it.
Eventually, you always will win something. Hey, look, we may be 100 when we finally win a Ohio lottery, but hey.
I've been entering every one at OHLQ for 13 years.
Okay, anywhere but Ohio, you will be able to eventually
my wife
get it.
doing it.
I guarantee you.
Sister.
Well, that's because Ohio clearly is cheating the system. There's no way it's random.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, I wish the folks.
Happy drinking.
See you then.